I think the most impact was realizing that you can do it. Going from nothing to opening a place, there are success stories for sure, but you need to work the ropes. You need to work with good managers, bad managers, great kitchen staffs, bad kitchen staffs. You need to go through it all. Let's say you open your own food truck and you have a busy Saturday and you're sitting there and you're sold out. Look at where you were 3 years prior. You were thinking of opening that concept. Look at that success rather than it being you running someone else's business, where it's like if it were your own business, you know how to rebound and get someone back, but you can't because there are rules in place. We need somebody who has the same values as you. And the value is, for me, is put the customer first, put the product first, put the quality first, and everything else will fall in place. You want your problem to be that you're too busy, not that you took on too much.
Yes.
Like, I know that at the end of every day when I go home, my biggest issue is I wish I had 100 more square feet just for storage, rather than me going, oh man, I should have signed a lease for a space half the size.
Welcome to the Explore NASH podcast. We are so glad that you're taking the time to listen to today's episode. Today, we're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about successes and failures in small business. And joining me today is George from Gold's Deli. George, I have to say this. You have one of the best delis in the state of Tennessee.
Well, thank you.
Hands down. That's why I drive an hour out of my way on a random Saturday to come experience your food. There's nothing else like this in Tennessee. And so congratulations. I know you've been in business for almost 2 years, coming up to 2 years.
Yeah.
So if you have not been to Gold's Deli in Columbia, it's a northeastern deli and a cold cut place. Fantastic food. The potato salad is phenomenal. You need to make sure to go down to Gold's. But George, let's hear your story to how you got to Gold's. Okay. So
how far back?
Let's go as far back as you want.
Let's see. We'll do Tennessee.
Okay.
So I moved here in 2018 to work
from Boston.
Yeah. Yep. I lived in, and it's so funny because when you move in the South, I get a lot of people who come to my shop and they're like, oh, I'm from Boston. And I'm like, what part? And they'll be like, in relation to, let's say, Nashville, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm from,
Cambridge.
Yeah. They'll be like, oh, I'm from yeah, I'll say, are you from Nashville? And they'll be like, yeah. I'm like, where? And they'll go like Lewisburg. I'm like, no, that's like an hour away.
Yeah.
So with Boston, I was in Boston proper, pretty close to Fenway Park, about 10, 12 minutes. But I moved down to Tennessee for a year.
And we'll get back to Boston because Boston is one of my favorite cities in the country.
Yes.
I love Boston.
It seems to be everyone's favorite that didn't grow up there.
Yeah.
That's like any major city. I love it. I mean, it is, you don't realize how good some of the food culture and just the sports and everything are until you move somewhere else.
Yeah. And Boston, so did you grow up there as a child then too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Boston. Yeah. Until 2018 when I moved to Franklin.
Okay.
For work. And then from Franklin moved to Donaldson, then to Nashville, and then to Antioch, and then back to Nashville, and then now Columbia. So I moved around a lot.
That's a lot of moving in 6 years, 7 years.
Well, I didn't know where I wanted to live because I'm like, all right, I want to buy a place to live, but I don't know where. You know what I mean? So I tried different places. And I mean, now that you've toured me around Donaldson and stuff, it's like, probably should have bought in Donaldson years ago, not knowing what it would turn into now. It's kind of...
Oh,
it's crazy the difference.
Donaldson is going to be the main puzzle piece for this side of Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the airport, the interstate, the two lakes, the shopping mall, Briley Parkway, Grand Ole Opry, like the rivers, like just so much. Like,
and you're still within 20 minutes of Broadway.
Have everything. Everything.
Yeah, you're right there.
And on good days with no traffic, you can get downtown in 9 minutes.
Yeah. See, that's fantastic. And that's what I noticed even coming here when I used to live in, nobody was really here. Mm-hmm. Well, there were people, but it's not like it is now, the traffic that I saw today and like the people, and it's kind of great. It's really cool. So yeah, I moved here in 2018 for work. I don't know if you're familiar with King's Bowl concept in Franklin. So there was a 3-venue restaurant. So there was a small music venue, then there was the bowling alley, and then there was the tap room that had these 3 15-foot LED screens, so big sports oriented.
Because they have, like 20 locations around the country?
I think there's 12.
12, okay.
So there was 5 of them up in Massachusetts, and I started there. Funny enough, I thought I wanted to like leave the restaurant industry at one point because I've been in it my whole life, but I decided to try and leave and do something else. But then I was like a door guy for a little bit, just on the weekends, kind of stay in the action. I had friends and stuff, you know what I mean? You get, the great discount, food discounts at restaurants. You get to go for free with friends and stuff. It's just a fun thing. And then that kind of...
Would you go bowling pretty often then too?
My friends would. I still can't to this day.
Okay.
Like, because for so many years I worked there.
Yeah. I was on a bowling team in high school.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was so bad.
I wasn't placed, but I just was on the team.
Well, I had to wear dress shoes. So let's say, for instance, if a lane broke or something, I had to test it. I can't run up and throw the ball because my shoes will scuff it because I had to wear like dress shoes.
Yeah.
So I got really good at throwing a ball stationary and getting a strike.
Okay.
Which is like, I look like a serial killer. It's like you just get in there and just throw a 7-pound ball just to test the lane when the mechanic's in the back, because there's so much that goes into that operation.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people think like, oh, bowling alley, it's like microwave food, this and that. Well, we had a scratch kitchen.
That's cool.
Everything from like the ranch.
The bowling alley I grew up in, and I like, it was the only thing to do in my town.
Really?
And so like Friday nights we had rock and bowl, Saturday nights we had rock and bowl, $10 or $20, unlimited bowling for like 4 hours, 5 hours. But like
Gems are still around. Those like,
oh yeah, but like the pizza at our bowling alley was phenomenal.
Really?
Like better than pizza than in Nashville. Hands down. I don't know if there's comparison to the bowling alley pizza I grew up with compared to the pizza in Nashville. But like the owner of the bowling alley I grew up with, he was in the pizza industry.
Okay, that makes
for a very long time, or he had business partners in the pizza industry. So it's like very high quality pizza at a bowling alley. And you're like, I can get an entire 16-inch pie for $9. Like, it's a steal.
So they make all their money off the gaming. It's like, same thing with arcades and stuff. It's like you get those little swipe cards now, and once those games are paid for, I mean, other than your routine maintenance and stuff, the margins on that stuff huge. And then people get that perceived value, like, oh wow, $9 for a pizza. They don't realize they're paying $4, $5 for a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
And you know the business.
Well, even then, because I grew up in a small town, a bottle of beer probably would be $2.25.
Fair.
So.
They lost smoking in that bowling alley?
They did until New York banned it. No, I don't think I was ever there when it was smoking. In the bar, you could smoke.
Okay.
One part of the bar, you could smoke, but they got rid of that when I was young. So like when I was like 12.
In Boston that I grew up going to, you walk in and it was an arcade, and then it was candlepin bowling.
Okay.
Which is the small ball.
With the strings?
That's duck pin. So the candlepin's like it's a regional thing up there, or at least in Boston, but in the basement we just called it big ball bowling, your regular bowling.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those concepts before. Yeah.
The basement you were allowed to smoke, and the upstairs was mostly for kids and families.
But that smoke would rise.
So you're literally sitting there, and out of the ball return,
the smoke is coming out.
You see cigarette smoke and cigar smoke coming up.
That's disgusting.
Which was absolutely ridiculous. But we had birthdays there.
Oh yeah,
and those made me the man I am today.
Yeah. It's all that cigarette smoke and cigar smoke and the greasy bowling balls.
It's just crazy thinking back on that. And now it's a post office, which is wild. They just turned it into a post office.
Interesting.
But that place was every kid had their birthday there.
Yeah.
And like you would get I don't know, you're from New York. You remember the Carvel cakes?
Yeah.
Which we thought were like, you struck gold if you got a Carvel cake. And now you're like, oh, that was like the
mediocre
birthday.
Yeah.
So if you had a Carvel cake and bowling at West Roxbury Lanes, you were like a king.
Yeah.
You were the king of town. And then looking back at it, I'm like, that's wild.
Before we get back into the Nashville stuff, what were some of your favorite concepts in Boston? So my favorite is Red Dragon Pub or Saloon.
Where was that?
In the Old Town. Okay. And so it was the pub where Sam Adams and a bunch of them were eating at when the British were starting to come in.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very deep history, like deep-rooted American history. But the best fish and chips I've ever had in the United States is there. The best fish and chips I've ever had in the world is in Hoth, Ireland.
Okay. Which place was it in Boston? You remember
the Red Dragon.
Oh, they had it. Okay.
Yeah. It's either the Green Dragon or Red Dragon. It's one of the dragons. It's near like that outdoor mall.
Yep. Area. I know exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the only places where you can go to a fish market.
Yeah.
And see the fish, and it tells you the name of the boat and the time the boat came into dock. You're like,
Oh, that fish market is insane.
Yeah, I'm getting food. This was literally swimming at 2 a.m, and it's now 7 a.m, and I'm purchasing it and bringing it home.
Yeah.
Which is
first time I ever had boba tea was in that near that fish market.
Yep.
And I had no idea there was going to be large chunks of fruit.
That is a weird. Yeah.
And so this happened to me the other day when we were filming too. because they get the big straw and you're like, what's this big straw for? And then all of a sudden there's like a piece of fruit going down your throat and you're like, oh, I'm choking.
I had it for the first time probably like 2 years ago. And like, I get it, but I was also like kind of shocked. I'm like, this straw is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, when you get like those big shakes from like Friendlies. I don't know if you remember Friendlies growing up.
Oh, the Friendlies was my thing.
Yeah. That's
one of my things.
With, they had,
it was pizza at Friendlies and, some great stories that, so when I was 15, I was diagnosed with Scheuermann's kyphosis. And so it's a disease in my back where my lower vertebrae were touching and they're supposed to be like this.
Yep.
And so I had to wear a back brace for 2 years. And so like every time my mom and I would go to Syracuse, we would stop at Friendlies and eat ice cream after my doctor's appointment. So like Friendlies is just like that particular Friendlies. Yeah. And their chicken tenders, man, at Friendlies are pretty good.
Yeah. What's crazy too is that was another thing. It's so funny because now it's like everybody's worried about seed oils and this and that. It's like Friendlies had a burger and the bun was 2 bacon grilled cheeses.
Uh-huh.
And these are the same. And you're like, now you're worried about seed oils and frying stuff in tallow. And it's like, that was on a menu.
Yeah.
And kids would regularly, like, that's something you would get. And like, can I have water with it? It's like, no, you can have Sprite. You can have soda.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if there's even any Friendlies left. I have a customer that comes in my shop.
I'm pretty sure there's one in Cortland, New York. There's a couple up north still.
Yeah, there was one in my neighborhood too. And then it turned into a Greek restaurant and then into a bank.
Interesting.
Again.
The evolution.
Yeah.
All right. What were some of your favorite concepts in Boston then?
There was one, and I don't know if it's still around, Roxy's Grilled Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Was a food truck that just did grilled cheeses. And then they opened 2 brick and mortar locations.
Where are they, on the north side?
One was in the Alston, Brighton area. I think that one closed after it was around for 10, 15 years.
Okay.
Pretty sure. And then the other one's in the Seaport district. And I don't know if that one's still there because I've been out of.
Is Seaport on the north side where that
used to be all the parking lots and stuff. And
now it's like those like soccer fields and.
Yeah, they developed all of that area.
It's cool. It's a really cool concept.
Super cool. And we actually had a King's Bowl in Seaport that was like one of the coolest. It was.
So was it a grilled cheese place?
Yeah, they did mostly grilled cheeses.
Okay.
And then they did poutine, but they did it well. And then they did like all different kinds of grilled cheeses and stuff. But they had this one concept where you walk in and it's like your typical sandwich shop. And then there's a dude sitting on a stool outside of a walk-in fridge door. And he checks your ID and you open the fridge door and it's a barcade. So it looks like you're walking into a fridge.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a whole concept in the back. Arcade games.
That's cool.
Bar, and then above the bar, they had different gaming systems that you could sit at the bar.
And play Xbox.
PlayStation, whatever. I thought that was cool. The food was great, though. 4 grilled cheeses. And then everybody raves about Mike's Pastry.
I enjoyed Mike, yeah.
But around the corner is a place called Bova's.
I think I've had them.
They're a 24-hour. They're on the corner, and they're set up. The setup is just, you're just crammed in there. Like there's fridges everywhere. You don't know who to order from. It's 24 hours. That place is fantastic.
You ever go to Fire and Ice?
Yes.
That place is cool.
Fire and Ice is a cool concept.
Very cool. Is it still there?
I don't know. That's the
Fire and Ice, if people don't know what it was, it's like kind of like a hibachi, but you choose like really good selections of meat. And then you bring it to not a pitmaster, but like
it's like a circular grill, and someone stands in the middle, and it's almost like
all of it. It's like hibachi, but like Americanized.
Yes, but you stand and wait for your food, so it's almost set up like a wheel, like everybody can throw a triangle, and that's where you stand, and then you put your stuff in a bowl, and the person cooks it in front of you. And that concept, I mean, they used to be busy all the time.
Yeah, well, like I would go. I've done that twice, where we'd go see the Blue Man Group and then go Fire and Ice.
Yeah, that was like the staple. You either went there before you went somewhere, or that was it after a movie or after a show. That's the place that you would go.
What are your thoughts on Cheers?
Cheers, the show or the place?
The place.
Well, it's not where it is. That's what I get so many people who come into my shop that are from Boston that are like, yeah, we went to Cheers. We didn't know that's not the bar, like the filming location.
Oh yeah,
off the Boston.
Course. Yeah, of course.
But so many people go there thinking, oh, I'm going to open the door and the stairs are going to go down. It's going to be the bar.
No,
they had the recreated one at Faneuil Hall, and I don't know if that's still opened. but it's still popular. I mean, there is not a single time in my life that I've driven by that building and not seen somebody taking a picture, at least during the daytime. And not seen someone standing next to the sign, taking a picture of the sign.
Well, I'm trying to think when I ate at Cheers the last. It had to be when I was like 14 or 15.
Yep.
It was a long time, like 20 years ago. But, because I remember it was my first time flying, and we went to Boston, and we just did a day trip to Boston, and then we flew back that night.
Oh, wow. In New York. I was thinking that you were in Tampa. That's not too bad.
Yeah. And so, we flew out of Scranton.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we just did a day trip. We were there in Boston, I think, for 24 hours. And then, like, we went to Cheers. We did, like, a whale watch, the aquarium, and, like...
Cool aquarium.
Very cool aquarium. And then the whale watching up there is amazing. There was one day we went on a whale watch, and this was in 7th grade. Like, this is how, like, all the memories of Boston that I have, like, go
Young
back.
age.
Yeah. And we went on a whale watch one day, and we saw 3 whales in one day, which is extremely rare.
Yeah, that's not something most people don't really see.
A whale, yeah. And that was like a 7th grade trip to Boston. So it was like a school-sponsored trip to like go learn about aquariums and water life. Yeah.
We would do the aquarium. We would do the Franklin Park Zoo, which is crazy. There's just a zoo right near our school because there's so many school trips. There's always, and it's kind of crazy just taking kids into a city.
Yeah.
You take a class of 30 10-year-olds, and then everyone has to hold on to the jump rope as you walk through the aquarium, and you're like,
what's going on?
Yeah, this is crazy. You're walking through downtown.
And you see the jump rope,
Yeah. Or like the crosswalk light, and you got like 15 seconds, but you got the whole class behind you. Because as you know, there's like the Boston Common, and then there's all the side streets off of it.
Yep.
And it's just people constantly beaming through the crosswalks to go right on red real quick and get into the common area and everything like that. And it was a cool place to grow up. And then,
what was did you ever see the movie The Town?
Yes. The Town came out. This is so funny. So, because I went to high school in Boston, and when that movie came out, it became everybody's like personality trait.
Yeah.
It was just like every guy from Boston's Live, Laugh, Love sticker was like, or picture in the house was like a Charlestown hoodie.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. I think it was filmed well. I think that the casting was great. The accents, it's one of the few Boston movies where the accents are like spot on for what I grew up with. But what they did capture was that weird sense of like Boston pride, where like they'll help you with stuff. Like in the movie when he's like, hey, we got to go beat someone up. I don't want you to ask any questions, whatever. And Jeremy Renner goes, whose car are we taking?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff where you could call your neighbor and be like, hey, I need help with this, this, and this. I really messed up. They're going to pick on you the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to help you.
But they're going to have your back.
Like in Tennessee, if I had a flat tire, people drop in like, oh, bless his heart, it's raining. In Boston, somebody would be like, oh, would you hit a nail, idiot? And then they're helping you fix a tire when they're like, all right, come on, Mission Man.
It's this, I've brought this up a couple times and I've been trying to avoid the topic, but we're just going to bring it up. It's this level of hospitality up north that's way different than the hospitality in the south. It's cold.
Yeah.
But like people here in the south, it seems like, I'm not bashing you guys. It seems like a facade. Yeah. Their hospitality. Oh, bless his heart. Oh, this person. And it's just like there's a bunch of gossip. But like up north, they're going to tell you how it is. They'll say it right to your face.
Yeah.
And then, but they're going to care deeply about the situation you're in. It's a very different paradigm.
I'll do that at the show. It's so funny because you'll see like a situation where if it's like a busy day and I sell out of something and then someone comes in and like, oh man, I drove a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever to try. And I'm like, I'm sorry, we're all out of
Should have been there sooner.
In my head, I'm like, hey, call ahead next time.
Yeah.
But then when they leave, I'm like, oh man, I really wish I had something for them. But in the moment, I'm like, yeah, sorry guys, just got to call ahead.
Yeah.
Which is super busy.
Oh, so we got the message on Saturday after my wife and son came to eat, and somebody's like, I drove 2 hours to come try this place, and they were sold out. And I was like,
that same day?
Yeah.
And I met that couple.
Yeah. And they DM'd us, and he's like, I can't wait to try. We're going to come back.
Well, I gave them a menu, and I said, listen, I don't do it this often, but if someone's willing, especially this day and age, what a lot of restaurant people don't understand, if someone's willing to drive to you
for 2 hours, one way,
that's a huge deal. It used to be 30 years ago, it was like you had the bar, the burger place, the pizza place in town, and they could They had the monopoly.
Yeah.
You had to eat there. Now there's so many concepts that you have to treat everybody so, well, like 2-hour drive is crazy.
4 hours round trip.
So I gave them my information. They're going to come back and have lunch. I mean, the guy's like, no, you don't have to do that. I go, dude, you drove all the way down here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I try to stay, because I like the barbecue concept of like, you make a certain amount of stuff in the morning. You don't know what's going to sell, but when it sells, it's done. And that's how we kind of operate. So we're open 6 days a week. I'd say at least 2 or 3 of the days we're sold out by 3 o'clock.
So why did you go with that model on the deli side? Because like you're the only deli operator that I've met that copies a barbecue model.
Well, I think when you're dealing with such few ingredients, we only have 9 sandwiches on the menu, but we do 9 meats, I think 6 different cheeses, 7 veggies, 8 condiments, very small concept. Those have to be fresh. If I'm, cutting onions on a Monday
and using them Wednesday,
they're going to taste bitter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Same thing with the lettuce, same thing with the tomato. Is cutting meats. Cheese is the one thing where like
it can last for a week.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
But like meats and stuff, like if I'm cutting turkey or roast beef, whatever, at 8 in the morning and it's sold up by 3 o'clock, it's fresh. It's just like fewer ingredients. It has to be, it's like cold brew. When you go to a coffee shop, cold brew is always the most expensive item, right? It's relatively easy to make. But
it's a 24-hour time period, yeah.
But if it's been sitting for 2 or 3 days, it starts to have the taste of the container that it's in. And this has been sitting for a while because it's a 1 ingredient item kind of thing. So for us, it's like, it just has to be fresh. And I like doing it that way. And it helps control food cost.
Just a cold brew thought for a second. I wonder if somebody's done this where they've aged the cold brew in a cast iron thing.
Interesting.
Because that cast iron would absorb the flavor of the best roast.
And then over time.
It's
like that burger place in Memphis that's been using the same
grease for 50 years.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disgusting.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
Yeah. That's a
generational grease.
Well, somebody try that. I may try that at home, but
I feel like after a certain amount of time, it would have to, right?
Well, because especially if you cook steaks repeatedly in the cast iron, it gets that flavor of the cast iron. So when you cook onions, it always tastes like steak.
Yeah.
So, all right, now back to your food costs. I'm just thinking out loud.
Well, I think what a lot of that concept does too is it's like, okay, I do everything based on numbers. So I look at like my product mix for a month and see, okay, every Monday we're doing X amount of sandwiches. That's what I'm going to prep for. If we do less, we do less. If we do more, we're sold out. And then I bring the par up for the next week and I average it out. But what I like is food cost is so expensive now. Food has become really expensive. What's the best way that I can give people value? Because we're not the cheapest shop. We're not the most expensive, but you get 2 meals out of every sandwich you get at my shop.
Oh, the sandwich I just had, I think I could probably, if I really wanted to, if I wasn't starving, I probably could have made it 3 meals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like to give people that value, which is why my shop, for everybody who looks at it online, you're the only person who's filmed it and shown how small it is. Everyone else does the 0.5 lens or whatever. And then people show up and they're like, this is it?
Yeah.
I'm like, I've had my walk-in fridge at King's Bowl was 3 times the size of my actual shop.
Yeah, because you're operating at 500 square feet.
Less.
275. Holy crap. I thought, yeah.
Yeah, it's just built out. Every little bit of it has storage. So like when you walk in, there's shelving above that you can't see. I've got all the shelving under the counter. But luckily I can get 3 or 4 deliveries a week. So I'm, rotating stuff in. I'm getting what I need. I don't need the extra storage. But with the way the concept has taken off, it's almost like I wish I had another 200 square feet, not
just for storage,
just for storage and prep and catering stuff rather than seating. It's not that I don't want people to sit inside, but for me, we're very grab and go. We have during the week, a lot of people, police, fire, hospital, public works, they come in, they know they're in and out. No matter how busy we are, you're realistically not waiting more than 10 minutes because we've prepped everything ahead. Our menu's so small. It's like at a barbecue place, when you walk in, there's 20 people in line and you're thinking if that's Chipotle, you're going to wait a while. If that's,
A chicken place, you wait a
you're
while.
going to wait. But those barbecue places, everything's ready.
Yep.
So it's like, what are your meats? What are your sides? What's your drink? Cash or card? And each person, you're getting them in and out in 2-3 minutes per group or whatever. It's kind of like that. And, I talk to people, but I also gauge it. Like, I can tell who's here to hang out and who just needs to get back to work. You know what I mean? So we do converse because it's set up like a bar. The counter goes the whole length of the shop. So we do get some people who sit and hang out for an hour and they want to talk with the staff and this and that. Then we get other people who are like, I only have 10 minutes, I got to go.
Yeah.
So that's why I adopted that concept, because I want to keep food costs low, give people value. And like I said, just kind of keep overhead to a minimum while giving the most value. That's my goal. It's like the best quality for the best price, but I also want you to leave there going, that was almost too much food, and then I can take some home. I also didn't have to think about, 500 menu items. It's a very small, clean menu.
The thing about your menu is it's so simple. And it's not like overly simple, like they're complex sandwiches.
Yeah.
But like it's so simple, you should be able to do everything well.
Yeah.
Because if you had more, like Subway or these other sandwich shops, it's too overwhelming.
Yeah, there's
like,
too much to choose from. And if I wanted to get into that game of like the really cool, fun, funky sandwiches, like there's people who have mastered that, like Bill's in Nashville, Bill's Sandwich Palace is every week is a new sandwich. That's cool. And that's awesome. For me, I'm going for the niche market of like just the people have to get in and out and go to work. It's almost like you find the direction everyone's going in.
Yep. And you go the
opposite, which I would love to be able to sit down every week with someone else and be like, what's a cool sandwich we're going to run this weekend? I love the creative side, but I know that there's success.
But from a variable side, on the creative side, will this sell? Will this not sell?
Exactly.
What's your bottom line? Are you actually making money on this creative sandwich?
Exactly.
You may be losing money because you bought all that inventory because you thought it was going to
work,
be good or special, and it doesn't convert at all.
And there are people who are there are shops in Nashville that are naturally gifted at that.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm going to leave them to that. I'm not even going to try because they're doing it while I found my thing. And I can have some fun down the line if I expand or open other locations. It'd be cool to have a fun or funky variable.
But don't do it every week. Do it once a month.
That's what I mean. Try a different thing.
Yeah.
Like we had a sandwich of the month that ended up being, I had the menu reprinted, put it on there. Super simple. People liked it. I'm like, you know what? I need to change some stuff anyway. There were certain cheeses and things that weren't selling, so I took them off.
Yep.
You might piss off one person. They'll be like, oh man, but that one person isn't going to meet the demand of that one item if they come in every 2 weeks. It's always this is what's really funny, and this is going to make sense to like maybe 20 people. It's always the people that never go into your business that want the one thing you don't have anymore and get mad that you don't have it.
Yeah, and they come to your business every 6 months.
Yeah, every time.
Or,
man, last time I was here, it's like last time you were here, like
we were
4 presidents ago. It was the last time you were here, and you wanted. Yeah, I worked at a pizza place once, and a guy came in. This is when I was in like high school, and he goes, "Let me get a hot coffee," and I'm like, "We don't have coffee," and he goes, "Yeah, but I want coffee," and I was like, "I don't have coffee. What do you want from me?" He's like, "Well, I want pizza and I want a cup of coffee," and I thought this was like a prank. So I grabbed the owner, and the owner's like, "We don't have coffee." And the guy like argued to the point where he got kicked out because there was no physical coffee in the building. And he just argued with it. And I think about that sometimes when people are like, "Oh man, you don't have this anymore." I'm like, no, it's just, if it doesn't sell, I'm not going to keep it.
Yeah.
There's that. It's boring in the sense of like looking at everything through numbers, but it does build the concept. Mm-hmm. I have fun with certain things. We buy like vintage glass bottle sodas we get shipped in from different places. I don't make money on those. It's expensive.
It's very expensive.
But I always have a different variety, and it's always.
But people remember the moments of having it with their grandparents or
or their grandparents. Like, oh, I haven't seen this in 30 years or whatever. And me not making money off that's fine because I've created that personal connection where they're like, oh, that's cool. And then when people come in, they're like, oh, you don't have this week. I'm like, no, the warehouse is out of it. I just see what they have available. This is a company out of Texas that does a lot of it. I buy it, it gets shipped in, and we sell it, but it's only what they have available.
Yeah.
So I always have 4 or 5 different rotating ones.
Yeah. And you don't have enough storage to buy all of the inventory at the warehouse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's what makes it fun too, is I'm always on my toes. about things. I've had people come in and be like, what's the biggest catering you've done? I'm like, I've done it for 150 people. And they're like, how? Out of that little space. It's like, well, I'm up early. We have all the catering equipment, the cold temp bag, stuff like that. Everything's ready, executed and gone. And people don't believe us. And I'm like, you can do it out of a small space. Whatever grand idea you have of opening a concept, you can do it in half the space.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're like a hibachi restaurant or you want to get into weddings or function rooms, like that's different. You obviously need more space for that, but your proof of concept, like one of my favorite places when I moved to Nashville is I Dream of Weenie.
Mm-hmm. And that was out of a little shack.
Yeah. It was out of a bus.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is awesome. I was like, are you kidding me? This is great. And I would drive. I didn't live too far. The time I was in Franklin and would drive. And then when I lived here in Donaldson, I was like, this is great. You know, I'm, relatively close. And I liked it. It was simple. I think they, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they probably had 7 or 8 different hot dogs, chips, canned soda, bottled soda.
That's it.
Picnic tables.
And water bottles.
Yeah. If it rains, we're still here, but you're going to be outside. Oh, well. And they were always busy and they always had good turnover. The prices were great. The service was friendly. I love places like that. Mm-hmm. Those small little hole in the wall, like in Boston, the one place I didn't mention is called Pino's Pizza. And that's a small pizza place, open till like 3 a.m. And last time I went, I was up there 2 years ago for a wedding and we went to Pino's. I took my wife there. I'm like, you got to try this place. I grew up eating here. It's great. And they had the menu board redone since the last time I was there. And there was a big part of the menu that says, we'll be happy to serve you when you get off your phone. So you're waiting in line. And if someone's looking at their phone, the guy's like, next, goes to the next person. The place is tiny. Yeah. Maybe 20 seats.
You ever go to Joey's House and Pizza when it was open?
Yes. I have, did I ever tell you my Joey story?
No.
So this was probably about 4 years ago. I was in there, finally made it. And I got there right when it opened. Okay. So I'm in line.
11 o'clock. Yeah.
I ordered a slice. And I ordered like the spinach stromboli. Mm-hmm. And I was going to take that home. So I'm sitting there waiting. And for some reason, the line had built up. The phone's ringing.
It's a madhouse in there.
It's a madhouse. But the
chaos.
problem is I went, I ordered, I paid, I sat down. The line is too far from the counter. I don't know why everyone's so far. It's like they were scared. For some reason, they just the way the line for, like
Joey at one point was a very intimidating guy to a lot of people.
Well, that's what made me laugh. So I'm waiting in line and he like looks up from the phone. It must have been him. And he goes, move to the counter.
Yeah.
And everyone moves to the counter and he goes, what are you getting? And the girl goes, and he goes, we don't serve here.
It was amazing. Yeah.
And literally goes to the next guy. And I started laughing uncontrollably. I'm like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen because her jaw just dropped.
Yeah.
And then he took the next guy's order and then went back to her. Yeah. That's the New England thing. It's you're backhanded at first, but then you're nice. Cause he's like, yeah, we don't have here. Gets the next order because that guy's ready. Then he goes back, goes, you ready? And she ordered. And then she said, thank you. He said, thanks for coming in. And that was it. But in that moment, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
I was in line with my roommate my old roommate and he was very introverted and so and awkward and so
it's not the best.
No, Joey literally looked at him and he said, if you don't know what the F you want, get the F out of my restaurant right now. And I just looked at Joey. I gave him a fist bump. And my roommate's like, oh.
But that stuff is fun. I mean, now people are just like, oh, I'll never go back but it's like that makes the experience. And it is like, it's not his fault that he has such a successful pizza place that there's no time in the 2 minutes it takes for someone to go, oh, do you have this? He could take 2 phone orders because the phone's always ringing. I don't know how he sleeps or slept when that shop was open without thinking of a phone ringing because the phone was always
nonstop. Yeah,
nonstop. That 2 minutes is huge. It's like but it also
especially if it's a $300 order, which most of them were.
Oh yeah, most of the phone call orders at any restaurant are usually bigger office orders or something. It's not normally like can I get a sandwich?
No,
it's like no. Hey, we need 6 pizzas. Yeah. We need all this stuff. Or hey, this is for the hospital, whatever. And it's always a bigger order. I always treat, but when at my shop personally, if we have a really long line, one in the hand kind of thing. Yeah. Sometimes it might be somebody calling saying, what time are you open till?
Yep.
But I always tell the staff the phone is super important.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I don't have any online ordering. I'm not on any of the delivery apps or anything.
I think it can distort the experience.
Yes.
especially for the end consumer who's there.
Yeah.
So like just the times where I'm waiting, and it's a fast casual place, and then 3 or 4 Uber drivers come in, and they literally just like they feel like they're bum rushing you, and you're like, dude, I'm like, this is my space, man. Like, yeah, my space, man. Like, and they just grab the order and then leave. And then some of these concepts, the way they have it like set up, it's like, hey, you have your line. Even you're a fast casual place, like you're still gonna have your line.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden, like these, and then the food is on the other side of that line, and then you have the drivers have to come in through that line. It's frustrating.
I think it's a first.
Yeah.
The first of anything is like, okay, now we have these delivery platforms that have really taken over.
Yeah.
Because people are buying back their time. That's all the delivery app is.
That's all
You're buying your time.
Yeah. And you're paying outrageous
You're
fees.
paying so much money
Outrageous
for
fees.
something that's going to and
Be cold 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
When it's delivered.
Double orders, this and that. But it's also like for instance, if I work at a restaurant and let's say a customer comes in and they go outside and the mirror smashed off the side of their car, they're not going to be mad at that other driver. They're going to be like, oh, we went to George's and someone hit my car. And they're going to associate that negative experience with my shop.
Yep.
So a bad delivery is going to reflect my place, even though it's somebody that I didn't hire, I didn't vet, I don't know.
Yep.
If something happens, they're like, oh, my sandwich was squashed, it was cold, whatever. That's falls on a reflection of my business.
But also, like with your sandwiches, 45-minute delivery fee, that bread would be so soggy.
Yeah, it wouldn't
be enjoyable.
No, and that's why the only deliveries we do are caterings.
Yeah.
But I also think, again, I like to go in the opposite direction of everyone else, where everyone's like online ordering this and that. There is this huge generation of receptionists and business owners in their 50s, 60s, 70s that don't want to order for their staff on an app, that don't want to do any of that stuff. So when they call, they'll say, hey, we need to order for 30 people. We'll say, okay, why don't you get their order, tell us the sandwich, and then their name will write their name on it. We do that once for a company.
Oh, you have
they will never go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Instead of
because of the personalized touch.
Yeah, it just got their name on it, and they can get the box. We will drop it off, and they just hand it out. And they're like, all right, Steve, Alex. They just hand him. There's no who had this with this. It's too simple. And again, it's our way of letting you buy back your time kind of thing. Or it's like we do stuff for schools where we've had full faculty be like, hey, we only have a half-hour break. I'm like, well, everybody order what you want. They send me a spreadsheet and an envelope with cash because all the teachers pay, and we just drop it off. And then that's it. They won't go anywhere else because that part of the anxiety of it is like, okay, well, on the website, somebody doesn't want this, but that's not an option.
Yeah.
Then you got to put it in the special request. Well, what if they don't see it? And then now so-and-so didn't like their lunch kind of thing. That's why I like just talking to people personally. We have like an email, but I use that email to call you. So if you send me an email saying, hey, I got this event coming up, I'm just going to call you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, you got a minute? And if you say not right now, I'll say, well, call me back when you can and we'll figure everything out. Which the concept of talking on the phone now for some people is not
bizarre.
Yeah. They're like, wait, you call people and talk to them?
Yeah.
You have to call to order food? It's like, yeah. And that way there's no mistakes.
Yes.
It's like, hey, you said this and this is what we're going to do for you kind of thing. So
how did our video impact your business?
Oh, I mean, it was wild. It was, so I think your video, here's what kind of, I'm going to say this in a nice way. Here's what shot me in the foot in a good way. You dropped the video on a Monday.
It's so fascinating. I just have to say this piece. I haven't said it yet. Everyone has told me when I've asked that question, they tell me the particular day that I dropped the video, and I'm like, I had no idea. Yeah. Like I had a barbecue restaurant. They're like, you dropped it on Thursday, and for 5 weeks we were sold out.
Well, you did on a Monday because
they're closed on Tuesdays.
I closed one day a week, and Monday was my delivery day. So that was the funny part. So at the time, I was getting 2 deliveries a week. So Monday, my delivery artist.
You were in business for 6 months at that point, right?
Yeah, about 6-7 months.
Okay.
So Monday morning, my delivery comes.
And we were the first account to feature you.
Yes. You were the first guys to make the drive, come out, hang out. It wasn't even like, it just felt like buddies hanging out. Like you guys showed up. You're like, what's up? Hey,
We surprised you.
You surprised me at a great time because it was after the first lunch rush. There was a lull. You guys were able to get counter seats, which was great. Because when I saw you guys walking, I'm like, oh shoot, I hope, nobody in line at the time was going to take those seats, which nobody did. You guys hung out. Then we got a second rush of people. And then we ended up selling out at like 3:30 that day. Maybe closer to 4. We had caterings that morning. I remember it was just a hectic day. So it's perfect that you showed up. But that video comes out on a Monday. I already have my delivery. Can't get one till Thursday at the time. Now I'm able to do them 4 days a week. That Wednesday, slammed. Thursday, slammed. And then throughout that weekend, I think that I ran out of so many little things that I had to run and get from the store. Be like, oh no, because I use like Golden's Deli mustard. There's no other mustard you should use for sandwiches.
Oh, Golden's is the best.
And I get the big gallons. Blew through it. I had to go and get some from the store. I ran out of the t-shirt thank you bags, for to-go orders. We were so busy that I was just like, as long as I had the meat, cheese, bread, I'll figure everything else out. So like, my wife on our lunch break, I think on Friday, went to the store to get me saran wrap. Because I had to cut so much stuff, I couldn't wrap the containers. I'm like, I don't have this. That's the most crucial. It's the things that you realize can really hinder your business. When you're operating as something as small as saran wrap, you're like, I didn't even think to order this. So we were busy for weeks. And I like the one thing, I'm not a big fan of working in corporate situations, especially in corporate restaurants. It's too much, too many layers to go through. But the one thing that I learned that one of my old bosses ingrained in my head was, if there's a lull in noise, ask the customer, how'd you find out about us? And it's so easy for us to do that. So if people are waiting for their food and we're making it, obviously I'm right there facing the other way, but I'm there. I'll say, how'd you find out about us? It's either Instagram, Explore NASH, but it's you. They never say your name. They just describe you.
They don't know my name.
They say, we saw the guy with the beard. Or Explore NASH, or, oh, there's a guy out of Nashville we saw on TikTok. And that even to this day, I mean, you were in my shop a week ago having lunch. You were in the area. 3 different people came over and said hi to you. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That shows your impact even that far out of the city, in an area that you've recently started to feature with places you really like. And I think that's super important, is like that. Like, you're so personable as well. People are seeing the video, then they meet you in real life, or people be like, how is he in real life? I'm like, he's great. I go, I wish, because I'll tell people like it is. I don't care.
You're from the North.
I'm very straightforward. I'm like, it was intense for the first minute when you were coming in, because I'm like, okay, what are they going to want to eat? Do I have it? I also still have phone orders and customers, so I don't want them to think I'm being rude, but being, hey guys, and then taking care of everyone else. Because you see like a lot of like the TV show stuff, like the diners, right? And stuff. They know the film crew's coming.
Oh, well, so the way that's structured.
Yeah, it's structured. They're staffed for it.
They're staffed for it. They have the inventory. They do deep cleanings. Like, it's required to do deep cleanings of the restaurant before the filming.
If you're deep cleaning before you have a guest, you need to reflect.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You need to check yourself.
Yeah.
I'll just say it. But what the model I've heard is the film crew, so a producer will come in. The film crew will come in the day before for Guy Fieri stuff, film all B-roll assets, any talking head with the owners, any of that stuff. They'll film that day before, and then Guy will come in the next day, film his part, and then leave. They go into the next. And so, and I've even heard that they have a A-B crew. So B crew may be at the next location doing that B-roll assets.
Oh, interesting.
That day,
filming.
So yeah. So I think it depends on the crew. So the 2 people that work for Food Network, comment below.
It's very structured that way. Where,
and I want to get to that point. I want to get to my ideal would be, and this is just a little internal for you guys. My ideal is I would love to get to the point where I just show up, I do my food portion, talking head. Yeah. And I spend time with the operator. That's my ideal. My team's coming in a day before, 2 days before. They're getting the web assets. They're getting photos. They're getting video.
The quote unquote boring stuff.
The stuff I don't need to be spending my time for.
Yeah.
And so that would be my ideal, but that's expensive.
and you're there for the people too. A lot of places like will go in, they make it just about the food, but you also make it about the people.
Yeah.
Too, you want to talk to, when you're there, you talk to the owners, you talk to the customers, you're there, you're very personable, you ask the right questions, you want to learn.
I feel like I'm really in the moment.
Yeah.
When I'm there.
Yeah.
Because you've noticed, like, I don't look at my phone when I'm in these conversations.
No, but I also feel like you'd also be the kind of guy, and everybody on your crew, because I've met them multiple times, I'm not just saying this to be nice, is you seem like a guy, if you were in a restaurant and someone spilled a tray of food, you'd be one of the first people to grab a broom.
Yeah.
If the staff were really busy, you'd be like, I got it.
Yep.
And go and do it. And then obviously everybody at work will be like, oh man, why did he do that? I can't believe that. But it's just the kind of guy you are, your team would be the kind of people to help with something like that. You know,
what do you think the financial impact was from our video?
Oh, significant. I mean, it
could you put a price tag to it?
I'd probably put probably like a 30% bump in revenue, 35% bump, I would say. I mean, thousands of dollars a week. And there's still impact from it.
Oh, you're still seeing the,
because there's residual. So I try and if somebody comes in, it's their first time and it's because of your video, the chance of them coming back a second time with any place is a smaller margin. So I'm like, okay, they saw your video. Now do they like the food? Will they come back again? So your financial impact goes multiple visits.
Oh, and it can go multiple years.
Yes. And
because if we can convert, even a 30% increase is massive.
That is gigantic. Yeah.
That's life-changing money.
And keep in mind, my shop is tiny.
Yes.
So, if we're doing X amount, because a lot of people are like, oh, you sell out all the time, you must be $1 million. No, I just do X amount, make the money we need to make with the product we have. I've had times where it's like, we're out of something. People are like, oh, you've been out of that for 3 days. Like, they don't have the quality that I want. So I won't put it on the menu. I'd rather you not get what you want and be irritated than get something that you're going to hate. Because
then they complain about it on Google or Facebook, and then it looks bad for you.
Oh yeah. I've had people send stuff in. I've had a delivery come during lunch and looked at the quality of, some of the meat we get.
And you turn it back?
I'm like, man, you got to send this back because we're not going to have it this weekend.
Yep.
Because it is such a simple, it's just deli meats, cheese, bread.
Yeah,
but it has to be
high quality.
Yeah. So I think your impact financially, I mean, it's great. And I think I'm not a very flashy person. So I use every bit of that excess revenue to reinvest into
employees,
the product, because your employees are an extension of you.
Yes.
When you realize it, the more you say the same thing, your employees will start saying it.
Yes.
So I know there's been times where I'm too busy to talk to customers and I hear, the people running the register or running the counter be like, how'd you find out about us? Or they know like, oh, this might take 7 or 8 minutes, 10 minutes for them to get their food. They'll say, what else you guys doing today? You should check out this place in town. Or do you live locally? And that's stuff that I would do. I didn't tell them to say that, but they start saying it.
Yeah.
And people want to be heard. People want to be seen. So we're not talking about us. I'm not saying, oh yeah, I'm from here. This is my story. I want people to tell us. Because how often do you go into a place and sometimes you get a server who'll ask you questions like, what are you all up to tonight? What are you guys doing in town? This and that. And you're like, oh, it's pretty cool. They're chatting with you instead of being like drink, food, this, that. And then, which is fine, if you're not a really social person, but you want the business, you want to feel heard in a way when you get, that's like negative reviews. It's usually not about your business. It's just about them being heard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like if they don't like something and your response shouldn't be to go after and attack that person.
No, you should love them unconditionally.
Yeah.
In a sense, and say, hey, and there's been some restaurants that have done this that we've featured and people have had bad experiences and we've told the operators, hey, you need to go through these comments and you need to offer $100 gift card to these people. Mm-hmm. Because if not, they're going to go to Google, they're going to go to Yelp, they're going to go to Facebook, and they're going to say really bad things about you and you have no idea.
Yeah.
And so some restaurants have taken us up on that offer where we've DM'd them and said, hey guys, like we featured you. You are in a sense representing my brand. Yeah. Like take care of these people.
Oh yeah.
And it's $100. That's all it is. You'll get that money back.
It's $100 to the public too. It's $100 at retail, not $100 at cost.
Yes, exactly.
There's it's way less that really goes into it than what you actually think.
Well, yeah. And so it's just and then there's been some videos where it's like, hey, there's like 30, 40 really negative comments. But there's 100 positive comments, 200 positive comments. And so it's like, hey, just take the time, especially after, and this is just inside advice for you guys if you're ever featured on our account. Take the time, go through the comments, work them.
Yeah.
DM these people and say, hey, I have a $25 gift card for you. I have a $50 gift, whatever is affordable for you. A $100 gift card will speak more volumes than a $50 gift card.
Bring him back.
Yes.
Get them back. Like
comp their meal, their next meal, and give them a gift card.
Yeah. Get them back for that second and third visit.
Yes.
Or what if they come back a second time and they're like, yeah, that was pretty good. Now they have a gift card. They give it to their sister or their parents.
And they bring them back.
And then they come back and then their parents come back like, yeah, my son was here and he had a bad first experience. He came back and now we're here. And then maybe the son doesn't come back, but now the parents are lifers. Yeah. Like you don't understand.
So it's just the small things like giving mints away.
That's a huge one.
It's a huge cash cow, and a lot of people don't do it. But if you gave a mint away after every meal on the receipt or a chocolate, people are going to remember that. Yeah. Just that little small touch.
They may not remember your name, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing.
And so like, have you had Southerners coffee?
I have not.
So they have 3 different mobile stands in Franklin. And I think they still do this. But when they started, and the reason I keep going back, and last time they didn't do this, so I need to bring it up to them. They hand you the coffee, and then on top of the cup were 3 chocolate-covered espresso beans.
Oh, interesting.
Just a nice little touch.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm paying $7 for a latte, but thank you for the additional caffeine.
Yeah. It's a little treat that you weren't expecting.
Yeah. And so like just that little touch can go such a such a long way. What's been the most successful thing running your own business?
The most successful thing?
And put a parameter around success.
Because success is everybody.
It's defined. Yes.
Defined financially most of the time.
Yeah.
Which it is true that financial freedom buys you time. It buys you health and wellness, things that you need. I think the most impact was realizing that you can do it. Like obviously you need to, in the restaurant industry, going from nothing to opening a place, there are success stories for sure. But you need to work the ropes. You need to work with good managers, bad managers, great kitchen staffs, bad kitchen staffs. You need to go through it all the ups and downs. And then when you think you're ready to open it, which I thought I was a long time ago, I was like, I'm going to stick it out a few more years running places for other people till I wake up every day going, today's the day I open it. And once you get to that point, you just make the jump. I would say whatever idea you have, scale it back 30, 40%. Open something a little smaller, a little more simple, because your dream concept is a dream to you.
But it's not a dream to others.
To others.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, I'm a huge music geek and I'm a huge Grateful Dead fan, right? Would it be cool to have like something that has that, like name a sandwich or whatever? Yeah, but it's not going to impact everybody. That's something personal that if I ever open other locations, maybe that'd be a fun thing to throw on a menu or whatever. It's just something for my personal life that I really like. But right now it's like build your brand so the fun stuff can come later. Kind of thing, then you can have more fun when you have that. So it's just investing in yourself and taking that time and realizing like your wins they won't seem big to other people, but to you, it's like, look at where you were let's say you open your own food truck and you have a busy Saturday and you're sitting there and you're sold out. You just did a food truck festival, whatever. Look at where you were 3 years prior. You were thinking of opening that concept. It might look different now because you're, covered in buffalo sauce, whatever, you're tired, you're sweaty, you have no food left, your truck's a mess. But look at that success rather than it being you running someone else's business,
making them successful,
but not being able to make the same decisions. You're like, corporate won't allow me to approach a table this way. I have to do it this way. Where it's like, if it were your own business, you know how to rebound and get someone back, but you can't because there are rules in place. So it's like setting up your own way, finding your own market, I guess.
What's been a failure in running your own business? Or maybe not use the word failure. Some people like to change that word, but like a struggle.
Oh, thinking you can do it all yourself? Mm-hmm. You can't.
Hey, Rome didn't build a empire in a day.
No, you can't.
And they didn't build it without an army. You need an army to build an empire.
You can't do it. You need to find a team of people who have at least 70% likeness. That's just a random number. You need somebody who has the same values as you. And the value is, for me, is put the customer first, put the product first, put the quality first, and everything else will fall in place. You'll be afforded those opportunities, taking care of your staff. I can't do it all alone. There have been times where I think I can do it all. And I've had some of my staff be like, I can do this. I've done this 100 times. I'm like, yeah, you know what you have? We'll have like business caterings that are on the regular 2-3 times a week. And, by the 30th one, I'll be like, don't forget to do this, this, and this. And they're like, hey, I've done this 30 times. And I'm like, you're right. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. And now you've got to do it on your own. And then they do it. And that's another aspect of the business. We're like, oh, this has been trusted in someone else. So my biggest failure has been those moments of, in the beginning, not even at my place, at other places, someone walking in the door be like, oh, I'm here to pick up this. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to make that order. Or, oh, I had you penciled in for the wrong day because I didn't take the time to say, hey, you guys watch the counter. I need to do my calendar for the month of caterings or this or that. That's been and I feel like that's a lot of issues that come from people who've worked in places where they felt like they were the only one
managing,
or maybe they had a couple other people with them. But overall, I mean, everybody who's worked in the industry has worked in a sinking ship. And there's a certain point where you're like, oh, I'm caring more than the actual ownership team or the leader, upper management. But if you took that energy and put it into your own thing, then you realize how successful you can be because there's none of that ceiling. At any point in time, I can literally tell the staff, hey, bring lunch to this school. Just go drop it off. I don't care. I own the place. Boom. Let's go take care of somebody today. Let's drop stuff off here. Let's do this or that. Let's have fun with it. I'll ask the staff, what business do you want to drop lunch off to? We try and do it every couple of weeks. And they'll be like, oh, there's this place in town that just opened. I'm like, well, let's bring them a tray of sandwiches and maybe
just say welcome to the community.
Yeah. One of our little catering cards. Yeah. And it's kind of like, a smaller version of generosity where it's like you come out, you feature these pages, they get super busy. They're making money. They're growing. And then they help everyone else. I mean, you just recently did that with a business near us, the Savarino's, the bakery. Yeah. I love that place because it reminds me of Bova's, the place I was telling you about earlier. I love that bakery. Theirs is so similar. And
it's good, man. It's just the cannolis. Like I had one over the weekend. It's just a good freaking cannoli. Like there's not many cannolis that can match their cannoli.
They do our desserts at my house for Easter and Christmas.
And then their Italian cookies, man, like not overly sweet. They're just good. Real sugar, good cookies. And you're not like, and I'm like, I don't feel bad giving this to my son.
Yeah.
Compared to other cookies.
And they stamp the box with the Scotch tape.
Yeah. Which sometimes is annoying because on Saturday I got like maybe like 9 cookies and I'm like, nah, I just want a cookie. And so I had to rip all 3 of them because like it was stuck in. I'm like,
but it's not going anywhere. But
it's not going anywhere. But
I always tell people like they come in, chances are they're from New England.
Yep.
Right.
Then they'll love Savarino's. Like,
So if they come and get a sandwich, I'm like, you should go check this place out.
Yep.
And then now people are making it a trip because now that you featured them, they're coming to our place, then they're going there.
That's why we need to do that video, man. That I've been saying
that's going to be
that whole community where you're hosting us.
I think having you down in that, like, it's so funny because it's called the Arts District.
Yeah,
it's really, I know food, I guess, can be.
It should just be called the Food District.
It literally should be the Food District.
It should be like Tennessee's pinnacle food district.
If I owned a piece of land in there, I would just put up a sign that says "Welcome to the Food District."
You should just do it anyways.
I should because it is. It's you've got barbecue, you got
2 bakeries, you have 2 coffee shops, bagels,
Italian restaurant, bagels. It's
there's not many areas of the state that are like that.
No, and it's like this little offset up from the square because you can see.
Yeah, you can see
the square from outside my business, but it's like you can walk there. They're making it more walkable. They're starting to do construction in Colombia, where they're adding to the sidewalk infrastructure. They're adding to all this cool stuff to make that area more walkable. So I think 3 years from now, it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And it's cool because a lot of it is food oriented, event oriented, community oriented stuff. And as long as like some of the big box chains kind of stay on the outskirts,
let them stay in the outskirts, man. Let them take the interstate.
Yeah, they can have. I mean, I'd be dumb to think that like your city is going to go without a Chipotle or a Panda Express. Every place is going to get one. A Starbucks, we have those, but they're not in the square.
Yep.
There's none of that. I think the only chain in the square, and you can bleep this out, which would be kind of funny, would be Subway. I think is the only chain near the square.
Correct.
It would be funny to hear it.
Yeah.
The S and then a bleep on the end of it. But there really isn't much like that. So it's kind of cool to see, but it's just been popping off. And there's been cool people who've impacted that area. I've told you, Mike Wolf from American Pickers has property in that area, and he buys these old buildings. And, he's got one that's rented out to a bike shop. One is a donut place. One is his personal collection. He does car shows. The other one is a really cool audio engineer who makes speakers and stuff. He's kind of preserving it as they build. So it still has that like old feel to it. It's such a cool area.
What would be your perfect itinerary for Colombia? Like one full day, perfect itinerary, and you can include your place too.
Man, there's so many places. So for anybody that I know that watches this, that I've met, I don't want them to take any offense. So there's multiple coffee shops that you can try. There's our neighbors, Bradley Mountain, which are great because they're also like have a clothing brand. There's Muletown Coffee, Buckhead Coffee.
Buckhead, I've never had Buckhead.
Buckhead's a smaller coffee shop off from the square near my house.
Okay.
They have a huge cult following, great coffee there. So there's those 3 spots. Then you've got the bagel shop, which his bagels are great. And then he just does free black coffee, just your basic diner coffee, which I prefer on a personal level. I'll drink any kind of coffee. I grew up drinking what was sitting on the burner for 8 hours. I would say there's tons of shops. That's the thing. So if you're going with family, there's a little bit for everything. There's record shops, bike shops, kids clothing, tons of antique shops.
There's a balloon store, which is super unique.
There's a flag store. There's a 3-story antique store. It's all different booths.
Yeah.
There's a
great bookstore.
Yeah. There's 2 bookstores that are fantastic, all right there in the square. And if you can find parking,
there's that olive oil place. Have you been in there?
I have not.
Oh, so it's you have Puckett's, and there's like that law office, and you go down this way.
Yeah.
It's like this grocery store that has all these like olive oils that you could sample.
Oh, and there's like the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. I thought there was another one.
No.
A second.
But like they have like bizarre olive oils that you can sample. It's pretty cool.
There's cool. I would say the third, I'm a car person, car and music guy. Third Saturday of every month is Cars and Coffee. Starts that's hundreds of cars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would say walking around shopping, there's tons of lunch spots in town. You've got the barbecue place near me, Boot Stompin' Barbecue is pretty good. Mila's, she has a huge following for lunch. If you can get in there, she's got a line out the door every time she's out. There's never not been a line, I think, unless it's been like torrential downpour, but then it's everybody in their car waiting for it to clear up so they can run in.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So, like up north, rain, sun, snow, all of it, places are going to be busy.
Yeah.
But down here, when it rains, it seems like the world dies.
It's so crazy. Yeah, because up north, it's like if there's a line and the weather is bad, you pick the weakest in the pack. You pick your cousin. You're like, you're waiting in line. We're all going to wait in the car. And he's like, why do I have to wait in the line?
Because you're the youngest.
Yeah, we can all beat you up. That's why.
Yeah.
Now stand there for a half hour. It's like, but anytime it rains the snowstorm was my favorite, or snowstorm this year. We got 2 inches of snow.
It shuts down the city, man.
I was one of the only shops open. And the first thing that happened was the Public Works building called, and we fed their entire crew, 60 people.
And you're like, yeah, that's a good day.
Yeah. I did limited hours. I was only open 11 to 3.
Yeah.
I did,
because I think we were texting that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is one of the busiest days I've had because it's the first one of the year. Everybody who is good at driving, they come out. Rain is a tough one. For some reason, like when it rains, it just kills. So if I look at the weather report and it says rain between 11 and 2, it always makes my stomach drop because I'm like, all right, unless I have a catering or people are calling in pickups, my walk-in business isn't going to be heavy. If it rains after 2, I don't care because then people are all rushing to get all their stuff, all their stuff done early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that usually helps. That helped yesterday. Was it started raining at like 2:30. So from 11 to 1, we were super busy. We were going nonstop, but it does kill it. We're up north. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just it's an very interesting like cultural observation. Yeah, like why does it happen? And I can't figure out the why.
I don't know. I think it's
because like I like my team knows this. Like we're going to be out doing stuff in in downpours until the lightning's really bad. We're going to be out.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's the risk of like the tornado stuff because like for me in Boston, it's like the worst thing you had was snow.
Yeah,
and if it snowed too much, chances are you were home before the snow got too bad.
Because it wouldn't happen until late in the night.
But here, it's like if it's raining, there could be a tornado. So maybe people don't, especially with like how it was this spring.
No, it was crazy.
It was wild. I mean, my soft opening over a year ago, we had a tornado that touched down in Spring Hill near the shop. That was my soft opening. So we had full inventory. We did a friends and family thing. We're open for 3 hours, closed, and then my shop lost power. With the most amount of inventory the shop has ever had, which is the first day, the power went out. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like, I'm going to lose everything. It was off for a half hour. I was so happy. I was like, all right, everything came back on. And then I found out the impact of it. And I'm like, that is wild. So I can understand some of the fear of it. But at the same time, it's like, if it's worth it, people will wait. And there are a lot of places like that in and around Columbia. So I think it's just like plan it around your meals. I would say pick a breakfast and coffee and then walk around, pick a lunch, or you pick a lunch and then do a dinner, or you do a late breakfast, something like that. Because the community it's just growing more and more. It's fun if you like that small town feel, but there's tons of options for shops and things to go into. I grew up in restaurants, in entertainment, in clubs and bars and all of that. So to me, on my days off, I like quiet.
Yeah, you want to go home and
I'm a homebody kind of person because a lot of my career was, you know, there's a live DJ, there's a band, there's a comedian, there's bowling, there's birthday parties, there's charity events, whatever it is. So to me, I like the quiet antique shops, bookstores, coffee shop kind of thing. That's my vibe. It's definitely worth checking out. I'm not even like an ambassador of Columbia in any way. I'm just like, hey, it's a cool spot. That's why I opened my shop there. That's why I left my job in Nashville, moved from Nashville. Like, let me go down here, live for a year and see how I can impact the community. So it's been.
What piece of advice would you give somebody that wants to start a restaurant concept? Don't. That's what most people have said.
Well, I will say, you can say don't. But most of the people that say, it depends on what your schedule is. So when I work nights, bars, they close 2, 3 in the morning, or whenever the person got off stage, or whenever the band was done. Then you're at the whim of the hang after, you know, then you're there 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. But your delivery's at 10 a.m. Is someone there to take it in? If no one's there, then now you got to get up and you got to drive in. And then you got to leave, go home, come back to open up at 3, whatever the schedule is. I went with the lunch concept or I call it banker's hours. Where I'm like lunch to early dinner, we're done. I can still go to the bank in the afternoon. I can do stuff in the morning. I can get it. Everything's manageable and still have a home life. I would say my advice would be find the concept you want to open. See if there's anything like that around you. Go try them. And then
know your competitors.
Know your competitors and know that your competitors are also trying to feed their families. A lot of people lose track of that. They open a place and they go, I'm going to bury the competition. It's like, why? That competition has 2 kids in 4th grade, or they've got a kid in college, or they've got a mortgage. Like, find a way to split the pie with your concept in theirs. Because there's plenty to go around, especially in growing areas where you're like, oh, this is my clientele. This is my market.
Yeah, Mary Kay, the makeup lady. My mom worked with Mary Kay for a long time. She would always say, "You can your community can support as many people as there is banks."
Yes.
So the same thing with restaurants.
Yeah, you just got to find make it about your journey. And then, like I said, whatever you think you want to open, scale it back 30%.
Yep.
Trust me, I had the idea of doing a big sandwich shop with a full kitchen, this and that. I was going to do a hood, this and that. And now I'm in a 300 square foot. Essentially, it's essentially built out like a food truck.
Yeah.
And now you want your problem to be that you're too busy, not that you took on too much.
Yes.
If you have 40 seats on a Wednesday and at lunch only 6 seats are full, now you're worried about your rent, your overhead, your inventory. Now you're making cuts. Now, what if you cut 2 people, they go home, then you get super busy. Now people are waiting, then they're pissed, they won't come back. Where's your balance? And I think the balance is you want to have good problems. You want to run out of stuff. You want to be too busy. You want to be not overworked in a bad way, but overworked in a way where you leave and you're like, oh, we're doing it.
Yep.
Like, I know that at the end of every day when I go home, my biggest issue is I wish I had 100 more square feet just for storage. Like I told you before, not for customers to sit, for my inventory, my stuff. That's all I need. Rather than me going, oh man, I should have signed a lease for a space half the size. That's the.
Have you thought about getting just a trailer and keep a lot of your dry storage in the trailer? Not like food product, but like just dry storage.
Well, what I ended up doing to fix that, so the dry storage isn't the issue, it's the actual perishable stuff.
Okay.
Is now I'm at the point where I can get 4 deliveries a week.
Yeah.
And they're smaller. But for the dry goods, I built all the shelving up the wall that you can't really see unless I point it out, because it's like above where you order. It matches the walls. It's kind of hidden. So yeah, that's my advice would be do it. And in this industry too, this is going to sound maybe backhanded, but restaurants are always hiring.
Yes.
There's always a manager position open. There's always a cook position open, chef position. There's always something. Take the risk, make the investment in a small concept, right? And if it fails, you might be out some money, but you didn't take a $200,000 loan to open a huge place. You open a small concept, and worst case, it fails. You took a chance, which anybody in your friend group or that you know that picks on you for taking a chance and it failing wasn't your friend to begin with. So you can just write them off too. So you know who your support group is, and then you can get a job in the industry and just keep working your skills. It is an industry that's always hiring, always revolving people through. It's got the highest turnover rate, 70, 80, 90% in a year at some places with servers, bartenders, managers, whatever it is. Just take the chance. Try it, but do it on a smaller scale, because the last thing you want to do is sit at home and worry about a huge...
You don't want to be broke.
Yeah, you don't want to be broke, and you don't want to worry about a huge loan over your head or huge... You want the financial freedom so you can drive your ambition. And I'm not saying like, you know, if you're making a $30,000, $40,000 investment into a food truck or something, that's way more manageable if you fail and have to sell it, because you can recoup some of your loss, still work in the industry and pay that off, rather than opening some grand thing because you think it's going to work or your friends think it's going to work. Just try it, and you'll learn very quickly how little you need to get by outside of it, because you're at work all the time. So you're not going out with friends. You're not doing any fun activities. You're working, you're building your brand. And then that, instead of, you know, you going out and getting your coffee 6 days a week, you're getting it once every 3 weeks or whatever with a friend or your wife or family. And the value of that is way more significant, because the rest of your time is investing into yourself rather than someone else's.
Talking about investing in yourself, I gave you a book recommendation a couple months ago called Profit First.
Yes.
And operators, if you have never read Profit First, I would put it on the list and read it within a week. For us, it's impacted our business.
Oh yeah.
At levels I never expected. We have cash in the bank where I'm getting paid next month. And like, that's never happened. And so like, we have operating cash, we have our tax cash, like set aside for taxes. So like, how did that book impact your business?
It made things easier, because before it's like, okay, you have your checking account, your savings account for the business. Mm-hmm. You have your stuff, because now nobody's writing checks anymore or anything. I don't pay any of my vendors in cash, or photographer, nothing. Everything's digital. So in that book, setting everything up, like they said, which is multiple accounts for different things, puts your mind at ease. So if you get a direct deposit for a day's business for, let's say, $3,000, in Tennessee, 9.5% is tax. So $300 automatically is in a tax fund.
On the restaurant side for sales tax.
Yeah.
If you're
on the restaurants.
If you're a service-based business,
yes,
that's not the case.
So right away, boom, that goes to the side. Okay. Now you got $2,700. And now you're like, okay, what is and that's just for, let's say, one day's business. And I've been doing it day by day and putting, okay, this percentage is profit, this percentage is owner pay, this goes to operating expense. And then there's like a slush fund of like, oh, maybe I can do a billboard this week. Maybe I can do this for next week. I can run an ad. I can do whatever. Maybe I can take some of that money and buy a few gift cards and go give them out to people. You know what I mean? There's that, rather than you looking and going like, oh, here's a huge chunk of money in a savings account. But if you have a slow 3 weeks and that dwindles, you can't really see the flow of it. It's almost like, what was it like when there were droughts in like the Roman times or whatever, they had the different canals of water where it's like they would go to certain place. It's like that. You're like, okay, what's going to set me up for success the most?
Yep. With the aquifers and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is such a cool, and I normally find stuff on my own. I find books on my own, content. You sent that to me. You've yet to guide me wrong. I'm like, let me read this. And I did. It's impacted me. Oh yeah.
And we've implemented it 2 months ago, maybe 3 at this point. And just like the clarity of mind I have.
Yeah.
It's so impactful. So whoever the author of Profit First is, congratulations.
Yeah. It's a great, and even if the only thing you get from it is funnel the money into those separate accounts.
Yeah.
And go, all right, this is for the ownership, and you'll sleep better. You'll know better.
Oh, it's so much peace. Like it's just, And you're the first one I've recommended it to. So I wanted to talk to you about it just to see like what your experience has been. George, thank you so much for driving up from Columbia.
Oh, no, thank you for having me.
This has been a fantastic interview. Give a quick itinerary for Boston.
Well, spend the 4 hours going 3 miles in an Uber. No, I'm kidding. Get off the plane, drive in. I would say you got to go to Pino's Pizza for sure. Go to Bova's, go to the North End. Seafood, all the stuff that you don't normally eat wherever you're from, eat it there.
Yeah.
The seafood, the local beers, because they're brewed locally, the Sam Adams, Harpoon, all that stuff. The bakeries.
The beer in Massachusetts is so much better than anywhere else.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I would say pizza, 100%, seafood, bakeries. You don't just do it. Just eat. Go hungry. Eat smaller meals where you go. Split a slice at 4 different pizza places with 2 people. Cut it and try a bunch of different things. Going and eating one big meal somewhere for the day. Try out a few different places. It's all, you want to go to the places that have been open 40, 50 years. They've been open that long in an industry that 90% of the concepts don't make it out of 5 years. A place that's been open 50 is there for a reason.
Yes.
Try those places for sure.
Yeah. Well, George, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.